Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Lorden Arts channel. I'm John Lorden. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here today. I know many of you out there are probably thinking, John, where's our update on Gabby Petito? Of course, we did last week's Searchlight episode on that case. A bunch of developments since. It looks like her remains have been found. As of when I'm recording this, we're waiting on autopsy results. I'm keeping track of all of those developments, and we're going to have an episode again on Friday to catch you up to speed on all the latest. I just don't want to break this thing into multiple mini episodes that you guys have to string together. So we're going to save them up, and on Friday we'll have a significant update. There are other people out there that are missing. There's a lot of big questions that are being raised in terms of Gabby's coverage and how that weighs versus different types of missing persons cases. I'm working on a project with that as well, trying to pull in some friends old and new to have a really important roundtable discussion on that. So keep an eye out for that coming up on the channel. But we've got a 3-year-old that we're looking for in today's episode. Let's go ahead and start learning about this case. In Augusta County, Virginia. Augusta County is the second largest county of Virginia by total area. It completely surrounds the independent cities of Staunton and Waynesboro. As of the 2010 census, the population there was just under 74,000. This is a 3.5-year-old, Khaleesi Cuthriel. She's also missing, and under some pretty scary circumstances. This is a case that really needs exposure, really needs help. Let's keep up this energy that we've had from Gabby's case and see if we can help Khaleesi as well. Starting over at the Facebook page for the Augusta County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Don Smith, and a post from September 10th. On September 4th, 2021, the Augusta County Sheriff's Office was notified that Amanda Airy, an inmate at Middle River Regional Jail, reported to a jail officer that she had placed her 3-year-old daughter, Khaleesi Cuthriel, in the care of Candy Royer in October of 2020. She was assisted by social services to establish a written diversionary agreement. Airy told responding deputies that she was told by friends that Royer had placed her daughter in the care of the child's aunt, who lives in Covington, or possibly in the care of her maternal grandmother. So essentially we have her mother in jail, and word gets back to her that all of a sudden the person that she left her 3-year-old with is saying, no, I gave the 3-year-old to someone else, someone in the family, maybe the aunt, maybe the grandmother. So we can see very big cause for concern right off the bat. The child has not been seen with Royer since February of this year. Investigators later determined that this story about the child being given to the aunt or the maternal grandmother, untrue, and that Khaleesi Cuthriel's whereabouts are currently unknown. She has been entered as a missing person. Candy Royer is also reported as a missing person, but is believed to be with her boyfriend, Travis Brown, who's a fugitive. And not just a fugitive. This guy seems to have a lengthy rap sheet ranging from all kinds of stuff, felony eluding, grand larceny, breaking and entering, carjacking, trespassing, destruction of property, contempt of court, but much scarier charges including strangulation, assault and battery on a family member, and another assault and battery charge. So we need to try to find this little girl as soon as possible. This is a photo of Travis, and this is a photo of Candy. Now, we don't need to go looking for them. They have been found. We'll get to that. But just to get the vital statistics out for Khaleesi. Khaleesi Hope Cuthriel is described as being 3 feet 1 inch tall and weighing around 40 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. We don't have a description in terms of clothes that she was last seen in or anything like that, because all we know is that some point after February, she's not in Candy Royer's care anymore. So when the actual disappearance happened in itself is also a question. Over at pittsburgh.cbslocal.com, investigators seek answers from fugitives captured. Thankfully, by September 14th, both Travis and Candy in custody, captured at this Knights Inn in South Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Marshals raided a hotel room at the Knights Inn in South Greensburg. According to court documents, they had to break into where Brown and Royer were staying after the two refused to open the door. By the way, look at the photos here. Looks like Travis colored his hair, and I don't know how old this other photo is, but Candy looks extremely rough in this photo. Once inside, they found 29-year-old Brown and 31-year-old Royer, as well as what officials describe as multiple checks allegedly stolen in Virginia and 2 large rocks of methamphetamine, or what they believe is methamphetamine. I've seen a clarification on that, so I just wanted to include it because this quote doesn't have it. Marshals, along with state police, said they were hoping to find 3-year-old Khaleesi, but she wasn't there. The number one question is, I want to know where the child is. We are working nonstop to find out where the child is. Is she okay? And bring a logical conclusion to this. It's heart-wrenching, said Augusta County Sheriff Don Smith. Continuing at Roanoke.com, the arrest was carried out without incident. Investigators from Augusta County and the Virginia State Police Bureau of Investigation traveled to Pennsylvania to conduct interviews with Royer and Brown yesterday. It's got to be so frustrating when you're working a case like this and you find the people, you don't find the child, but you know it's just a matter of them telling the truth of what happened. And seemingly, because here we are a week later, Khaleesi's still missing. So it seems like they're not talking, or there's something in that process that isn't breaking down. I just can't imagine sitting at a table across from these people knowing they're sitting on information about where a missing 3-year-old is. Smith said in a statement, while we are pleased that Mr. Brown and Ms. Royer are in custody, the men and women of the Augusta County Sheriff's Office will not rest until we discover the whereabouts of 3-year-old Khaleesi. We have major concerns that this child has been harmed or is in danger, Smith said. I hope I'm wrong, but we need all hands on deck and we need the community's assistance. Of course, we have contact information in the description box below, and if you have friends in this area, in Virginia or Pennsylvania, I'd say, please share this video with them. Hopefully these pictures might jog some information. It's really about just getting all the eyes that we can on Khaleesi and trying to help raise exposure for this case. The articles that we're going through, that's all the information you're going to find on this case at this point. There's more articles, but they're basically just recycling the same details that we're touching on here. And this case isn't hitting the national level of attention that we see in a lot of other cases, despite the fact that, we're talking about a 3-year-old here. Over at WPXI.com, the pair will be extradited back to Virginia to face several charges, including abuse and neglect of a child. Both Brown and Royer have also been locally charged with forgery, possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 4 counts of receiving stolen property. So we've got a bunch of charges aimed at them. And I'm curious if some of those charges might be used in exchange for information, really at this point, I'm hoping that maybe one of them will be pitted against the other, and that's how some information will come out. I imagine that Don Smith and the other people that are working on this case are just racking their brain trying to figure out every which way to squeeze this information out of one or both of these people to figure out where Khaleesi is. And I don't think it's going to be too hard to get the neglect of a child charge to stick, particularly to Royer, because it looks like social services helped with that agreement. You've got kind of a legal document saying this child's now in your custody and you're not able to produce that child. So, of course, if what the sheriff is worried about is true, there's way bigger charges that they could be facing as well. And maybe they're going to do everything they can to kind of stymie the investigation in terms of finding that information. Over at NBC12.com, search for 3-year-old Augusta County girl continues. Augusta County Sheriff Donald Smith says the child's whereabouts have been unknown since February, which makes the search harder. We're behind the 8 ball on this, he said. However, he says the search for Khaleesi is fierce. It's growing by the day. It's becoming a joint investigation between the Augusta County Sheriff's Office, Virginia State Police, and I called in the FBI as well, he said. Since Khaleesi wasn't seen with Royer and Brown in Pennsylvania, they're working in the Augusta County area. We're canvassing the people that know Travis Brown and Candy Royer, talking to friends and family, talking to all of them, trying to piece together when's the last time this child was seen, Smith said. This is the girl we're looking for. Khaleesi Hope Cuthriel, 3 years old, 3 foot 1 inch tall, 40 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. Unfortunately, no clothing description. Last seen February 2021 in Augusta, Virginia. And that's all the solid details we have at this point. So please help us raise exposure. Please share this video, particularly in Virginia and Pennsylvania. I'm hoping somewhere out there sees it, has that information, picks up the phone, uses that information in the description box below, and sends it in. I don't know if this is a search for a little girl or a search for justice at this case, but it desperately needs help.